you.
on Zoom unless they don't see that on the side.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
For what it's worth, it sounds like your audio's coming in better.
I have
you're sounding like
I'm sounding like me again.
You.
Yeah, you don't have the sexy low bedroom voice.
All right, we are back. That's probably a good thing with the not having the sexy low bedroom voice.
Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us with our little technical glitches as we get back on track here.
Yes, I will be calling the internet company later this week.
For RAM internet.
Because I pay for a hell of a lot of internet, and I'm not getting it right now, so they're going to hear from me.
Yeah, here. Having all sorts of issues there.
Alright.
But we appreciate your patience and joining us on this wonderful drunken cruise that is the journey through Berezaya Argia. And where did we leave off?
It is Gavin's question.
So Gavin is ready, is now able to pose a question to somebody.
I don't think it's Barca and Ember were the two that hadn't been asked in a while, yeah?
Correct.
Sorry, I was wrestling with technical issues and didn't have a chance to come up with anything off the top of my head.
I'll tell you what, we'll throw this out too. If you want to think about it, we can allow you to pass the question to someone else and we can come back to it if you would like.
No, I got it. I just...
Okay.
I was going to say, or Zaya can ask a question.
Actually, how about you have Zaya ask a question, then I will have something for you.
All right. Oh, fuck. No, I got it. Okay.
Haha.
All right. Admittedly, we haven't dealt with it much because we are able to kind of travel. But what do you guys think about the war? Or this fight that's going on? I hear stuff a little bit about when we're in the streets, hear the people talk about, I guess, the Brayland and the Spring and the Karnak, is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
And like a big war happened like not too long ago. Were you guys part of that?
25 years ago in 16 days.
Well, and I believe with our time frame, the treaty of, because we set this game as approximately 20 years in the future.
Yeah, it's like 20 years after the treaty.
Was, right?
It is the Treaty of Thronehold would have been in 996. The date of the game is 1019.
Actually, I think it's 10. It started at 1019, end of 1019. I think it's 1020. No, you're right. 1019. Never mind. I was incorrect.
Or Barca fight in many arenas and in many places, but Barca don't know if he was what he was fighting for, just whatever was needed of champion. So Barca not know. But that's Barca.
I was born near the end of the war, and I was only 2 when the war officially ended, so I was not a participant in the original war that you're talking about. And then The current situation, honestly, I'd like to stay away as far away from it as possible. It sounds like a giant, pardon my language, giant clusterfuck, and I want nothing to do with it.
I'm not familiar with the wars and politics of this land, but I'm a defender and believer of Ilyana, and I will fight for what feels like good.
I was, for a time when I was younger, involved in the more abstract war against the Dreaming Dark and the Enlightened, but not this particular war.
Admittedly, Nikali is much like Rashi. Is like, don't know much about the politics of Corvair. Kaladin is, fuck it, Kaladin's passed out at this point.
That feels appropriate.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And Argenta even mentions is kind of also in agreement. Like they are not really familiar with the politics.
My answer is a little bit complicated on that one.
Project more.
You tell.
I was supposed to be in the war. I wasn't in the war because the war ended. But I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be part of a secret weapon that Karnak was going to unleash.
Oh. That was that. Sorry.
But the war ended, and it didn't work. Because I am a successful failure.
What about this war?
I know the program probably didn't end with me. I have a bad feeling once people figure it out, I might get dragged in. Don't want to. Kind of never want to leave the ship.
Sorry, go ahead, Barca.
But we're not on ship now.
She means she wants to keep traveling with Zaya instead of getting wrapped up in the
That's
war.
right. But Zaya's over there. Sorry, Barca,
Yes.
get confused on.
That's okay.
It's okay. It's okay, Barca. And Zaya actually walks over, sits next to Ember, and then kind of like sort of scooches Ember so Ember can kind of sit on Zaya's lap. It's like, now she's on that.
Oh, that's cute. I wasn't born when the last war started, or when the last war ended, rather. At least I don't think I was.
I mean, you might have been like 0 or 1 year old.
Right. I worry with the houses being targeted that they'll find a way to drag me into it. That I will my assistance will be demanded by my house. And will force a choice. And I don't want that. I am happy where I'm at. I think it was Gavin's question.
Correct.
As she sweetly looks over at Gavin and bats her eyelashes.
It is my question, but the player is buried under a cat.
Camera, we need to see this.
I can't reach it without disturbing the cat.
Yeah, okay.
Just gonna say, regardless of which
priorities
cat it
yourself.
is, I feel like we are more important than said cat.
I can't move the cat. It is illegal.
Well, then you're just going to have to come up with a question to ask somebody off the top of your head, because we can still hear you.
Yeah.
No, I have a question. I just had a cat on me at the time. Yeah, Winter was being very snuggly. Barca.
Yeah.
I know we have become your family, but do you ever want to find your blood kin? Your mother, your mother, your children, that sort of thing.
Barca never thought of finding mother. To be honest, Barca never thought about anything before our group family pod thing. But Barca has been looking for someone.
Who?
Who's Barca been looking for?
Yeah, buddy.
Barca. And then Barca takes a big drink.
All right. It's your question, big guy.
Barca question. Okay.
Is Gavin not answering his own question?
Oh wait, yeah, but Gavin. Riri reminded Barca. You answer a question or drink.
I'm very, very good at asking questions that kind of don't apply to me.
This one does apply. You're adopted.
I am. The only connection I have to my biological family is a corpse that they found in Metrol when they found me. That was 2 years dead at the time. The likelihood of me finding my biological parents is slim, and given the fact that they are very likely not alive, almost none. So it'd be interesting to have a conversation, but ever since I was little, I never really anticipated ever finding or seeing them again. So anyway, Barca's question.
Barca's question. Okay. Amber. Okay. Would you rather want to fight one owl bear sized duck or 100 duck sized owl bears?
Yes.
This is so in keeping with Barca's brain length as well. Like, I'm just loving it.
I am going to go with a duck or a duck-sized the owl bear, because if I could charm it, then I could ride a duck.
Oh, Barca would go with duck-sized owl bears, because how cute would those owl bears be?
And you can ride it!
Just little, tiny little owl bear ducks. Ooh! This is going to be great.
You want to go find Barca's babies.
You've seen the college like, I will drink to that.
All right, Ember.
Sorry, that was me petting. No. It was indeed not falling out of my chair. I was petting.
Amaya,
Yes.
when you were a child, what did you want to be?
Truthfully, when I was a child, there wasn't much room for thought of what I wanted to be. There wasn't a whole lot of exposure to the various options of the world. My parents tried to teach me the dark magics that they'd learned from my grandmother, or the assassination skills that my mother had learned in her lifetime, and those were really the only directions that I was pushed towards. It was, I guess the question was never asked what I wanted to become. The question was only how effective at these particular skill sets would I become.
You never secretly wished that you could have done a different path?
Well, I ultimately disagreed with their methods, their purpose of fighting against the Dreaming Dark and the Inspired, trying to, through darkness, fight for the light, if that makes any sense. That at least made sense to me and seemed good. So it took me a while to really try and start to question the actual methods there. So I suppose the only thing that I really wanted to be when I was younger was a force for good, someone who could help. I don't know if that's really much of an answer, though, so...
Before you dive in, just as a little point of maybe sort of clarification, more for Narash. And Narashi, you realize as Amaya kind of talks about this, in a weird way, it almost sounds... There are some similarities to the kind of the shadow hunters that you and Kalantosh have been a part of. But almost like to some sense, almost like sort of a weird perversion of it. It sounds like from what you're kind of getting.
Yeah.
Just throwing that insight out there for whatever that's. Please answer the question for whoever asked it, because I believe they hear out too.
Well, I would have to answer my own question now.
Correct.
Yes. What did you want to be, Ember?
I, oddly enough, wanted to be a ballerina.
Huh. That would have been delightful to see.
Maybe one day.
Perhaps.
It's not my usual view. But it is a gift.
Oh, I suppose it is my turn to ask someone a question then, isn't it? Gavin,
Yeah.
how many sexual partners have you had?
Yes!
Oh my god, you just asked his number. I am so happy.
You see Gaia, eyes to wide, looks at Amaya, looks and then looks at Gavin, looks at Amaya like, looks at Gavin like, should she be listening to this? Looks at Amaya, looks at Gavin, but then just like, nope, I'm listening to this. And like,
I
and
try
all
to
of them just
cover
kind of
for
phase of it.
ears.
She does one of those,
Gavin just drank from the bottle.
I mean, do you want to get specifically on this ship? How many? Or
I mean, you mean today?
or
I mean, if you need to do a best estimate.
oh god.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what?
yeah.
I drank.
you
Yes, lover. What's your best estimate?
He drank. Didn't he just drink from the bottle? He
He did take
Rhiannon, Rhiannon doesn't care. She stared him down anyway. More amused than anything, to be fair.
I stopped counting at.
My calm emotion reversed and I
No.
up the awkwardness.
Oh, hold on, he was giving us some info.
I stopped counting after 20.
How long ago was that, my love?
I was 16.
Okay.
You can do the math from there.
Fact.
Amaya, how many sexual partners have you had?
Fact.
I have had a total of 3.
I'll see. Now I just feel like a whore.
Well, if the shoe fits.
I never got paid.
Man, it's a big number.
We're not slut shaming here. It's fine.
I'm watching Brian. Anyway,
Gavin's turn.
who needs to be at Narashti hasn't had answered a question in a while. Can I ask?
I don't think I have.
True.
No.
Okay. So, okay, Narashti.
Yes, that's me.
This is not a leading question. I'm genuinely curious. What are you into in terms of, like, who you choose as a partner? I don't mean necessarily sexual, but, like, going on a date, whatever. Like, are you into... Well, really more than anything else, are you more like guys, girls, somewhere in between, nothing at all, everything at all? I'm just curious.
Well, my life this far hasn't allowed for a whole lot of experimentation, but I honestly feel like it doesn't really depend upon the body. It's more the soul and the person and the thing, so I don't know.
That's an exceptionally Kalashtar answer.
Which thing?
What thing?
You said the soul and the thing. What's the thing?
Personality?
Oh, okay.
Person. Yeah. And the spark that Ember was talking about.
But Ember has sparks, like actual ones.
He does have sparks.
I
It's true. Your turn. Wait, you have to answer that, Gavin.
After
Gavin.
some recent experiences, I seem to be more generally attracted to women, but I'm not unwilling to experiments outside of that realm.
Wait, you say you are or you are not?
Gosh,
I am
Tosh is right into that.
You showed Tosh a good time.
And then you
Like
see
I said.
Berezaya kind of.
I am more attracted to women. I am not unwilling to experiment outside of that.
See, I don't get just like sticking to one body type. That doesn't make sense to me. There's so many good things about all the bodies.
Look, I'm just saying,
You
if
are
I
not
run
wrong.
if I run into a dude that I really connect with, I'm not going to limit myself by any stretch of the imagination.
Because, let me tell you,
I'm just saying my habit thus far, what I've mostly been attracted to thus far has tended to be female. Tosh notwithstanding.
He had a nice butt.
Yeah. He's got.
Yeah, we'll go with
You've
charm.
seen
Anyway,
Macaulay, who is
Yep.
definitely heavily into his drinking at this point, goes, I like boobs.
Boobs are really nice, Nicole.
And then just, yeah. And then he
Yeah.
just kind of, and then he's just kind of back to himself and just kind of sits there and just kind of nods.
who hasn't had a question lately?
that isn't an NPC. We realize that we've been glossing over NPCs, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because while Kaladin's passed out,
Yeah. After the
Argenta's
last...
just been kind of watching. Truthfully, Argenta really hasn't been drinking so much. Like they drink every once in a while and laugh at something that maybe Barca has even set out. But being that they're the size of a horse, they don't really feel drunk or inebriated in like the least. So they're just kind of more just avidly kind of taking in everything you guys are saying and just being entertained.
After the last question from Zaya, the only person who hasn't gotten a question is Rhiannon.
I've asked you questions before, but I'll ask
Which
you
is
another
true, that's fair. You don't have to ask me one right now.
I like going around again. Rhiannon, what are you most proud of in your life?
Jesus.
You found Jesus.
No.
He is,
No.
you guys gotta stop losing him!
he is the worst driver ever.
He is the worst driver.
That's why he walks a lot.
Never take the wheel.
Walks everywhere, I've been told.
Well, he did have a Honda.
I mean, nice guy if you touch base with him. But,
He's also a really good bowler, I hear.
A bit of a rush.
Canonically had a Honda though. Just didn't talk about it.
Joking aside, what am I proud of? God damn it. Hang on.
Is this drinking
That's not a drinking to avoid thing, is it?
No, there was a long-suffering sigh, so I took a drink.
That's fair, that's fair. I'm just double checking. I admit, the more we drink, the fussier I'm getting on the rules. But hey, everybody, enjoy. This is Drunken D&D.
To be fair, I put the rules at the top of the answers that I'm keeping track of.
Like that matters at this point.
That's true. I genuinely don't know. I'm not saying that as a cop-out. I have a career and I'm proud of the work that I've done for my house. I am good at what I do. I have built a family with all of you, and I'm proud of that and of the things that we've accomplished, because there's certainly nothing to dismiss. But I don't know that there's a most proud, if that makes sense. We've done a lot of really good things together.
We have.
And I did good things before I met you all. And I'm really proud of what we've managed to accomplish as a family. What about you?
I think I'm proud. Well, there was this one time where I blew up a whole bunch of Inspired, and that was really cool. But besides that, I think coming here on my own and finding you, that was pretty cool. That was the first time I was out on my own, and this was the first thing that was ever asked to me, was to find Zaya.
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I found a whole lot more, and it's pretty cool.
It is. I'm glad you're here. I'll be real honest, because I'm pretty drunk at this point. I was not real happy when you first came to us, because I thought you were suspicious as hell.
This is fair. You should be suspicious. Zaya's worth protecting.
She is. But, I like you now. You've grown on
He
me.
sees that as like, I mean, you can't really tell from the actual cheek, but if you could see a tree person blush, she's...
She turns a deeper shade of green.
And she kind of, considering the last place she went was having Ember sit on her lap, she kind of snuggles into Ember to kind of
This is so
hit her
cute.
face a little bit.
And Narashti gives her a very warm but drunken look, but like loving.
Yeah. Let's see. Ember. What is your greatest... Oh, fuck, I have to answer that! Hang on, I don't want to ask that question.
Yes, you do.
I mean, technically you asked it. We all know you asked.
You know what? You're right. What is your greatest
I'm
fear?
fucking drunk right now. All right. Anyway, sorry.
What is your greatest fear, Ember?
My greatest fear is for my birth to have been found out to the other nations. Because I fear that would be a huge catalyst.
Other nations or other Dragon Mart houses, or both?
Both.
Fair enough.
My birth was through a program that there are laws against this. Experimentation on humans. Albeit voluntary,
Still.
but still forbidden.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, Riri, what's your greatest fear?
Better soldiers.
Oh, my greatest fear is spiders. You know, those really big ones?
Yeah.
Do like that... that do that, like, weird-ass, like, jumpy thingy. Because first of all, spiders are already creepy as hell, because they do that, like, sudden start-stop, like, I'm gonna charge you because I'm a creepy motherfucker.
That's
thing.
what,
But then there are those really big
Lady
spiders
Venus.
that, like, can phase. And those
Yeah.
are not okay. And they're, like, huge, and then they, like, drop on you.
I've heard they're down in the cogs in Sharn.
Yeah, how do you think I know about them? Do not recommend. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Actually, I
What?
think that would be like a 0 out of 10.
I was to say like
One of
1
the
out of 10.
reasons why
I
I know
get you.
Fireball,
Nope. Hard no.
all the fire. All of it.
Ember, your question, unless Zaya wants to cut in.
Not yet, but Zaya will work on it. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. So after Ember goes, Zaya's got a question.
Also, I just have to interject. We were just talking about spiders, and I forgot how long my hair's gotten. And the dress that I'm wearing has my back bare, and I just got tickled by my hair, and I definitely had a minor freak out there.
Oh no!
For a second. It's fine. It's just my
You're good?
hair. I'm good.
Okay.
It's fine.
Now you know Brian's gonna create the next thing that we're gonna fight is gonna be like giant evil spiders, right?
I know, right? Like I was trying to decide if I wanted to actually come out and say it, but I think literally everybody knows that I'm scared of spiders. So whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Alexa, find stats for giant spiders. Anyway, sorry.
Hey!
Sorry, what are we doing? What's going on?
I don't know.
My apologies.
Ha!
Yeah.
Alexa doesn't know!
She doesn't know. Leave it alone.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tipsy right now, but I'm still trying to hold it together. So all right, who's
We
next?
got this. We got this.
It's Ember's question.
I'm gonna ask Gavin.
Yeah, okay.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Damn it! That was the question. So I was gonna ask. All right.
Do you want my real answer, or do you want the answer that I usually tell people?
Yes, both.
Really?
Both.
Dude, what the hell do you think we're
And
doing?
you see, so I was like, yeah, tell us both.
The one that I generally tell everybody that I have is reading a good book. The reality of the situation is actually not too far from that, but it's not just reading a good book. It's reading a steamy romance book.
Yes!
I can't get it.
Saya looks over at Amaya. Can I read one of those one of these days?
Perhaps one of these days. I'll talk to Gavin later, see if he has any recommendations I can take a look at.
I just, for whatever reason,
On a note,
Go ahead.
as a game,
We should
as
read
a
this
note,
book called Outlander.
you do have a book in the library called Tusklove by
I'm aware.
Matilda Mercieri.
Yeah, we do.
No, we have to ease her into
Because-
Tusk.
Because again, the first rule of Eberron is if it exists in D&D, it exists in Eberron. And they put out the Kaika Wildmouth.
It exists now.
In which
So
the
it
Test Glove
exists.
book exists, yes. But yeah, so Gavin kind of finishes, I don't know what it is, and they're terribly written, and there's usually, but the plots could be so interesting, and just intricate and detailed.
You read romance novels for the plot?
I don't know why I'm laughing. I've never read a novel.
You've never read a romance novel?
Main character.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was gonna be a little concerned.
Well, here's the thing, like...
Vashti Tusk Glove. I just.
Oh, did you definitely pocket it and then peruse.
Baby!
And admittedly, by this point, Narashti, there's several corners of
Yeah.
several pages that are
been dog-eared.
bended and dog-eared and are ready to go. Like the book is.
It's well loved.
Cared for,
Yeah.
but it's well used.
She
So-
will take note.
Gavin's response to Rhiannon is like, baby, generally I don't need smut, I have you.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know if that's cute or uncomfortable.
Both. There's no
Rhiannon
reason
thinks it's fucking adorable.
There's no reason it can't be both.
and he called me baby. That's cute.
He's also really fucking drunk. So.
Yeah, he is.
As are we all, I think, at this point. But anyway.
Riri's also called me baby twice so far tonight, so. No.
I've called you buddy.
No, Gavin's called me baby a couple of times so far.
Well, yeah, that's fair. He's really drunk.
I am really drunk.
Yeah. You saw him chug the absinthe and drink straight out of the scotch bottle, so it's
Out of character, I'm glad this is not my really high-end scotch, because I would have been pissed.
yeah.
It's good.
what's
It's good scotch, just not amazing scotch.
So Zion's coming.
What's Ember has to answer first.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically,
Technically,
I already answered. It was ballet.
Oh, ballet. Yes. But she took a drink because she asked a question that she had already answered, so I'm here for it.
Yep.
All right, if Desire want to interject before Gavin asks his question?
No, go ahead.
Damn it.
Hey, the last time you did that, I took your question.
Who hasn't been asked a question in a while? I want to make sure everybody's getting good coverage.
And not that I'm trying to single myself out, but I will mention that Argenta, Nikali, and Zaya, for that matter, are still conscious.
Okay.
Yeah, the NPCs haven't, but Barca and Amaya, I haven't gotten a question in a while either.
Yeah,
Okay.
that too.
So, and again, as much as I want to learn more about our NPCs, the goal of this is to get to know the PCs a little bit better. So I'm going to aim my... This is a metagame.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is a metagame observation. So...
We can kind of assume that we've been asking NPCs questions and things
Yes.
in the background.
Well, and this is going through the whole evening. Like,
Right.
truthfully, by the time you're done, you are drunk to the nines, and it's probably morning by the time that you guys finish asking the questions, which, right now we're at 4:30 Central Time. I'm assuming we're wrapping this up around 5-ish?
If I don't stop drinking at 5, it is going to be a problem.
Five-ish.
I'm just saying, for those that are watching that are looking at us being all drunk as hell, I feel that, like, before I become completely fucked up, so we're going to we'll say a hard cutoff at 5. Because I hope you enjoy us being drunk as hell, answering questions both in character and potentially somewhat out of character, but in character mostly. And sorry, please continue.
Amaya.
Yes.
Have you, in the entirety of your training and adult life, ever one punch knocked out somebody?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. I have not, answering my own question. I'd like to try it sometime.
Don't think you should try it on Amaya. I think that would end poorly for you.
I wasn't planning on trying it on anybody here.
Just stating a fact.
That would be wise to not try it on anybody here.
I don't know. Maybe there's some like angsty evil teenagers I can
Maybe
punch.
I could polymorph into like a duck, and then
Yes.
you could punch the duck.
An owlbear-sized
Like,
duck?
Is it a owlbear-sized duck or a
Duck-sized owl?
Size bear,
owlbear?
sized duck.
Here for it. With Ember
'Cause
on
I
its
can't
back.
do 100 of them. I can only do one.
Fair.
It's a Maya's question.
Unless Zaya wants to pop in.
Yeah.
And
As
Brandon,
I
I must say, I'm glad you're here because I am so not able to herd kittens right now. I'm just saying.
I got you. I'm herding kittens.
I appreciate it.
And taking notes. Your notes are phenomenal.
Well, she's also
Thank
the
you.
single. She's a single mom of 3, so
That's
This is fuck-
multitasking shit. I got
Yeah.
this.
this is a fucking cakewalk for her.
I look at the notes and I'm like, oh yeah, people said that. Write down.
Did Zaya want to jump in with a question before Maya asks hers?
I was originally, but then she frickin' took my.
See? This is
Question.
why you have to stop putting it off.
We can give you a minute here.
Yeah.
While Zaya is coming up with a question, who else hasn't been asked one in a while?
Barca.
Yeah, Barca hasn't.
Barca hasn't been asked a question. Let's see. The random roll worked pretty well last time. Let's see what it gives me this time. Remind me again what languages Barca speaks.
He speaks Goblin, Common, like a word of Draconic, and maybe 5 words in Giant.
All right, so that question doesn't really make much sense for Barca. Let's try it.
Brian, I'm just going to start feeding you questions over Hangouts.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually looking.
Do it.
I'm looking at some. I'm researching some as well.
Barca,
Mm.
which of your scars are you proudest of? Which one has the best story behind it?
Oh, that is a good question. Barca stands up, and like you kind of finally see him. He's been holding a bunch of like stuff with him this entire time, and he kind of like takes his arm, and you see actually a bunch of dragon teeth things kind of fall off his arm behind his seat, and he stands straight up. Barca has many scars and many trophies, and he slowly starts taking off clothing. So he takes off his blink dog cloak, and takes off his helmet, keeps talking. As you can see, Barca, and he just kind of gestures to himself, Barca have scars, but sometimes you don't see the scars that are maybe have more meaning. And he actually kind of turns his leg outward so you can see down at the ankle. He starts pointing, and you see all these dashes that go up his leg, all the way up his leg. And there has to be hundreds of them, hundreds of dashes. Some of them every once in a while are like half a dash with a dot. Most of these marks Barca pretty proud of. These marks here aren't like trophies up here where trophies mark the battles and the great things. These mark the individual that has been taken by Barca. Barca most proud of, and he points at the last mark on his leg that you can see, which is like this line of marks goes up his leg all the way up and then all the way down, all the way up, and then just about halfway down his thigh stops, and he points at the final mark. His answer. What scar are you? What scar are you most proud of?
She kind of looks herself over a little bit, and she kind of like hikes up the side of her shirt a little bit, and you can see a scar like along her side there. It's not a super big or super obvious mark, but that one is probably the best story, the one that has the most meaning. I got it while I was on the first ship I was ever a crewmate on. There was a scuffle that happened while we were on shore leave, as it were, and almost the entire crew wound up in a brawl with some local ruffians. I got this mark while fighting at one of my crew members' backs, and I hadn't really felt much part of the crew before then. After that, there was a much greater sense of camaraderie and belonging. So I think I remember that one the most fondly.
It's a good scar. Is it Parker's question or is it Zaya's?
Zaya will step in here and say, so I do have I guess a question. If you could go back, sorry, let me think. If you were to be able to be any creature or being or monster, I guess, what would it be? And that's to everybody.
Gavin steals a look at Argentia and goes, "Dragon."
And Argentia just kind of looks at it, gives you a wink.
Rhiannon kind of chuckles because she also looked over at Tina. Yeah, dragon. It's.
And you notice when you say that, like you see Argentia just kind of do her shoulders a little bit, and her wings kind of flutter out and shake. You know, she kind of shakes her wings free a little bit and just kind of preens just a little bit because,
Horse. Horse has always had it better than Barca. And they always, yes, in in captured by masters, but taken care of, pet, fed, taken. Horses always have it good. Barca would be horse.
You see Nikali, who admittedly is kind of passing in and out at this point, just mentions, I just wish I had something, I was something with wings that could soar among the sky. And with that, he passes out. Just mentions, I just wish I had something, I was something with wings that could soar. Anyway, that was Nikali. Feel free for the rest of you to continue.
Amaya, Narashti, Ember.
Maya stands up and kind of moves over to go refill her cup. And as she's kind of passing by where Zaya and Ember are, she says, I would be an airship, like my favorite being in the world, and leans down and kisses Zaya on the head as she keeps going.
Just freaking.
And again, if you could see,
Aww.
if you could see a tree person blush, you'd see Zaya totally like.
Again, she just turns a deeper shade of green. It's fine.
And you see,
I'm kind of imagining it like how like leaves will turn red in the autumn. I'm imagining like that kind of effect on Zaya.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And you totally see that kind of happening. Yeah.
That real teenager response, like, "Oh, Mom, God, not in front of everybody."
Something with wings too, but not a dragon. Like a bird. I don't know, something small but that can fly. I just want to see different places, but I don't know. A bird. Like that bird.
And admittedly,
Mine's a
you
bird.
hear, even though Narashti is like his eyes are closed and he's kind of getting to that point where he's like totally unconscious, like I'd fly with you.
I'd fly with you too.
And then you realize he's passed out at that point as well.
Yeah.
Ember.
You know, I'm gonna go with human.
Interesting.
I wish I was human.
Why?
I'd be less complicated. It'd be simpler.
Then you see Argentia actually kind of looks towards you, Emperor, and says, I see you more as a phoenix. And as for myself, I got it pretty good.
Yes, you do.
And they just kind of, yeah.
Okay, in spirit of question, that Tina asked, what would you be? Barca have question as well, for And Barca. Hmm. Let's see here. Let's go with Nay.
Yes, Barca?
Sometimes when we have food, we stomachs don't feel good, and sometimes we toot, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh God.
if you were a fart, would you be loud and proud or silent but deadly?
God.
What fucking list are you using?
Barca.
What list is this from?
I love it. Oh my god.
I feel that the silent and deadly is just far more effective and can be used to my advantage way more than a loud and proud. What back at you, Barca?
Barca's never been silent but deadly.
No,
Barkley's
he's
been
loud and proud.
mostly loud and proud and deadly is what Barkley
Can
is.
confirm.
I promise I silent but deadly has many advantages.
I mean, maybe sometimes I'm in between and more like the one cheek sneak, but other than that,
And revenge, you
So
crop dusting.
Oh no, don't be a crop duster. Bad.
for shame.
Yeah, she's drunk. I'm drunk.
Which shops
So-
did you do that at? You gotta apologize.
Didn't say that.
Alright.
Did it?
by the way, the questionnaire that Barca is using is the 100 weirdest questions that kids have asked their parents.
Yes. Oh
Yep.
my God,
I
I
love
love
it.
that.
That's
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. I'm here for it.
Oh my God.
So I will say this much:
Oh.
as we are nearing the end of our time, and with
Yes.
what little bit of cognizance I still possess before we're done here, I realize we are kind of nearing the end. So what I'm gonna just kind of sum up a little bit that as you kind of keep asking questions and going around and celebrating this time together, obviously there's this huge bond that is just kind of reinforced as everybody, certain people start to kind of pass out at certain points, but it's just a celebration of this family, of kind of getting together, of kind of reconnecting with everybody, of just remembering again what it is to be this group, this crew, this family of the Berezaya Argia. And so as the rest of you pass out, as the case may be, I will say, since we're kind of nearing that end, I will go from character to character, and I'm surprised I have this much focus considering how drunk I am. But I will go from character to character and say, what is the last thing you kind of do, or last thought you want to have as you guys kind of pass out and sort of go collapse into unconsciousness. So we're on my list of people, we'll start with Ember first.
As we wrap up and we're settling down and starting to nod off, I send a message to Kira.
Okay.
Hey babe, think I found family. Everything's okay. I'll see you soon.
And you, after kind of a moment's pause when it's kind of assured that you're kind of done with what you're sending, the reply you get back is just 2 words. Fuck yeah.
And I just snuggle down and I curl up next to Wanda.
Okay. Narashti.
As the whole fart thing digresses in her mind, that's really thinking about that.
Is dissipate the better word there? In your mind?
As farts dissipate.
It's a whole thing. Whole ass thing.
Just a feeling of like being connected, and feeling like she finally belongs to this group that she's felt a little awkward with and a little intrusive. But then with that, a sense of guilt because she never quite was exactly fitting in before for where she was as much as she wanted to and felt like a part of that. But this feels fitting in and different, and so there's guilt that where she came from didn't fulfill that, and that there's a pull against that, but ultimately feeling good where she's at. And she'll just kind of curl up right where she is and fall asleep.
Okay. And Barca, how do you end the evening's festivities and drinking?
Barca will stand up, as Barca has been doing, making proclamations all night. Barca will finally turn around and see the dragon teeth behind him and be like, "Oh, Barca forgot." And Barca kind of grabs him up off the ground and puts him in his arm again. He's like, where Barca, well, where Barca did hail from, we had system where we held out honorable things that might not be worth something to normal folk, but to us meant acknowledgement and respect. So Barca wanted to do something for the great hunt and social bonding event that we've put on. So Barca made some things, and he takes out, and there's like this twine kind of wrapped around these teeth, which have not been cleaned. There's bits of gum, like I mean, the twine is actually in there pretty good. He's done this many times, clearly. And he goes up to every one of you and like kind of like either puts one on your neck or like kind of like knots it in your hair, and just kind of gives you each one. And then also realizes that he made one too many. And so he's like, and he just kind of like slowly pockets the one too many.
For yourself.
He's got one.
Oh.
There's still one too many.
Maybe one for Argenta?
Argenta's got one.
Oh, okay.
Everybody who's at the fire, he counted beforehand.
But apparently counted incorrectly.
Fair enough.
It went one beyond his fingers, and things went awry.
That's fair.
And that's the Barca's. Barca proud to be a part of all these friends that are here. Barca also hopes Gavin is takes care of that wetting his pants problem he has, and he does this huge gutty laugh like he kind of slighted you, like ha 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 ha. Peed your pants.
Rhiannon, how do you
That's
end your
awesome.
evening?
Can you? Yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Rhiannon now has a tooth tied somewhere in her hair. I'm imagining. Rhiannon just grabs Gavin and innocently, there's like we're all sleeping around a campfire. There's not hanky-panky happening, but grabs Gavin and kisses him. And pauses for a second like she wants to say something, but doesn't. And then just kind of snuggles into him next to the fire.
Okay. Funny enough, Gavin, how do you end your evening? Other than what has already been described.
If you do not mind, I would like to go last.
Oh, I was going to ask to go last.
I'll tell you what.
Nope, I'll go.
I'm
It's fine.
Pick. Okay. Then please do.
So Gavin will kind of sit and cuddle with Rhiannon until she's fairly passed out. He's going to then get up, kind of walk into the trees a little ways, like far enough away from the camp that they can't necessarily hear him. And he's going to vomit everything that he drank in the last hour and a half.
Okay.
He's then going to hit himself with a Cure Wounds. Because he was still down some hit points. He's then going to go back to the camp and kind of slide in, kind of up and propping Rhiannon up, so he's like behind her, leaning against a tree, and she's kind of against his chest and just sleeping. But he's going to stay awake the rest of the night and keep watch over the camp.
Okay. And Amaya, how do you end your evening?
Amaya, once everybody kind of has fallen asleep and sees that Gavin is intending to take watch, we'll kind of go around to everybody in the group, just kind of shift blankets and move things to make sure that everybody's warm and comfortable and in good spots.
Oh, you're tucking everybody in, Mom.
Tucking everybody in, she goes to where Zaya has finally fallen asleep in probably a weird heap.
Real fast, once Amaya does that with Rhiannon and Gavin will kind of smile and mouth the words, "Thanks, shit, Mom," and that's it.
Yay, ship Mom.
Maya just flows back if you're continues on doing it.
Ship Mom.
Ship.
I heard
Ship.
shit, Mom.
Ship, Mom. Ship.
With a P. With a P, people. Ship with a P.
It's a term of endearment, okay?
Barker was just going to react completely differently if you openly just turned to Amaya and said, "Thanks, shit, Mom."
All right, everyone else, shush, Amaya.
Sorry, we're all sleeping. It's fine.
Yeah. Shh, you're sleeping.
And
Please finish
Amaya
your thoughts.
last goes over to Zaya, where she has kind of, in her kid way, just kind of fallen asleep wherever she happened to be when she could no longer stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of,
Which is totally a thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Can confirm.
and we'll just kind of gently pick her up, carry her over to where Amaya planned to kind of bed down for the evening, and then lay her out, give her one last kiss on the head, and then lay down next to her and go to sleep.
And so the crew of the Berezaya Argia, having had a wonderful drunken evening, you retire late into the evening, perhaps even early into the morning, depending on how you look at it. And with that, we will kind of stop it there. and want to say thank you all for your patience in joining us. I want to say thank you personally to our lovely Rhiannon for creating the drunken drinking rules.
And then the notes.
And keeping some notes. I want to say, hey, thank you to me for being drunk off my ass, but still managing to somehow herd the kittens at least a little bit. Not all the way, but
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
I am very impressed. Yeah, we have
I'm
almost
gonna celebrate
5
finishing
pages
the
of
rest-
notes.
I mean, I'm going to celebrate by finishing the rest of my rum, so there you go. But
There you go.
and most of all, thank you all of you who have been watching and keep staying with us and enjoying what we do here. I know I have such a blast running this group, and
we always have fun.
You all, and
We do.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. We try to do a bi-weekly thing when possible, and
with better quality stuff.
And we apologize for any technical issues that we may have had, and we give all the virtual hugs because of COVID, all the virtual hugs that we can to Mr. Gavin, because admittedly he had some technical issues today, and we love you and hope that you don't throw your computer out the window or do the office office space version to your computer what they did to the printer.
Yes.
It's tempting.
I know. I feel you, buddy. I feel you like every damn day. But thank you again all for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks. And love you all. Stay safe.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hip hip.
I am.
Hip hip and cheerio. Hip hip and cheerio.